Are you injured in Indiana? Don't get lured by the flashy ads of these out-of-state attorneys. It's going to cost you money and less attention. Hi, I'm Marc Lopez. I'm going to start with a quick story. About 2 weeks ago, a young lady reaches out to me. She was in an accident and she wanted to know about her options. I spent about a half hour on the phone with her talking about X, Y, and Z. I determined she was a good fit for the firm and I sent her an injury contract saying, hey, once you sign this, I can start on it. She said, Marc Lopez, I want to take some time to think about it. I said, no problem. So you're right, this is America. And I wish her a good day. The next day, she calls me and says, Marc, I really liked you. I really wanted to go with you, but I spoke to another attorney and he is at a national law firm. And, I just feel like the national law firm can give me more resources, more time than Indiana law firm, so I'm going to go with them. Now, I asked her, hey, what's the name of the firm? She said, I said, whoa, I've never heard of them. Are you sure that's what you want to do? But this isn't a sales contest. She said, yeah, Marc, I appreciate it. I made my decision. I said, no problem. I respect that opinion, and I wish you the best of luck. 3 days later, after I talked with her, I get an email from the law firm that she signed with. They say to me, you can read it right here, Marc Lopez, we have lots of clients. We want to send some to you. This lady, she fell for the oldest trick in the book. She mistakenly thought out-of-state law firm, more resources, more time, but that is not the case. The reality is these out-of-state law firms, for the most part, are sending those cases to attorneys in Indiana, and they're taking half or more of the fee generated. And what that ends up meaning for the person that's been signed with these massive out-of-state law firms is you get less attention. The attorney that actually works on your case is not the one that you hire. You've been referred out. And this person is making less money on your case than the other 10 cases he's working on. What that means to you is you're going to get less attention. Now, a lot of attorneys will say, Marc, I would never give less attention to a case because I'm fee splitting with somebody else. But the reality is, yes, you will. That's human nature. If you can make $10 on one case, $10 on another case, and $3 on a third case, that $3 case is going to get less attention than the $10 case and the other $10 case. That is human nature. If you have been injured in Indiana, you need an Indiana attorney who practices regularly in Indiana, not recently licensed like my friend over here. You need an attorney that actually knows what they're doing. I'm going to talk you some of the benefits of a local Indiana attorney. Local attorneys are going to know who is who. They're going to deal with the same adjusters. They're going to deal with the same opposing counsel. They're going to deal with the same judges, and they're going to know the ins and outs. And the cool part about that is every case starts with an adjuster, but if the adjuster is being unreasonable, guess what? File a lawsuit. You get to deal with the attorney who you've dealt with before. And then if that attorney is unreasonable, there's also the judge who we deal with regularly, and we know how judges decide certain things. This local expertise cannot be overstated. The next one, having a local attorney you could, if you need to, go into their office and talk with, exchange information with, not always dealing with a phone call. Phone calls are great. We also like text messages. But being able to stop in the attorney's office, that's so clutch to meet someone face to face, especially if there's some miscommunication, especially if there's some issues that come up. Having a local attorney, at least in the state where you've injured, is so incredibly important. Here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, we have more than 20 years experience doing injury law. One of my partners even more than that. This is what we do. We deal with the same people day in and day out. We know who is who, and we know the best thing for our clients based on Indiana law and Indiana verdicts. We're not looking at, oh, what happened in Kentucky? What happened in Florida? No, we're dealing with Indiana law with Indiana people. This is what we do. If you've been injured in Indiana, you owe it to yourself to hire an Indiana injury law firm and Indiana injury attorneys. Don't settle for less. If you've been injured in a crash, slip and fall, dog bite, we would love to talk to you about your options. Free consults, talk to you forever if you like. Bottom line is, hire local. If you have any questions, give us a call, 317-632-3642. Here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, we know that people that have been injured typically deal with a lot of frustration. You still got to do all the normal stuff, plus you've been injured. Allow the Marc Lopez Law Firm to turn that frustration into compensation. Give us a call today.